It's that time of the year where everyone reminds you to be grateful. But what if you don't want to be grateful? Not everyone acknowledges that it's difficult to be engaged with gratitude, and I'm here to talk about why. Welcome back to Savvy Psychologist. I'm your host, Dr. Monica Johnson. Every week on this show, I'll help you face life's challenges with evidence based approaches, a sympathetic ear, and zero judgment. Gratitude, though beneficial, can be challenging to practice consistently. And psychological research sheds light on several reasons why it may be difficult for many individuals. Some of these key factors I'm going to review today. The first is negativity bias. So, humans naturally have a tendency to focus more on negative experiences than positive ones, a phenomenon known as negativity bias. Evolutionarily, this bias helped our ancestors focus on potential threats for survival. However, it also makes it harder to recognize and appreciate positive experiences in everyday life. The brain tends to give more attention to problems, setbacks, or disappointments, which can overshadow feelings of gratitude. The next thing I want to mention is high expectations or comparisons. So, when people have high expectations for themselves or compare their lives to others, it can diminish their ability to feel gratitude. This is particularly common in the age of social media when people are constantly exposed to idealized versions of other people's lives. Feeling inadequate or dissatisfied with one's own achievements or circumstances makes it harder to focus on what is good, as the mind often fixates on what's lacking. The next thing to mention is cognitive overload and stress. So, when people are overwhelmed by stress, it can be difficult to pause and reflect on gratitude. High levels of cognitive load, whether from work, personal responsibilities, or emotional strain, tend to occupy mental resources. In such a state, people are more likely to focus on immediate stressors rather than the positive experiences in their lives. The next category is cultural or social conditioning. Some cultures or individuals may be conditioned to focus on personal achievements or self sufficiency rather than on what they've received from others in their lives. This can create a mindset where gratitude is not prioritized or even seen as a weakness. Additionally, cultures that emphasize material success may place less importance on practicing gratitude for intangible things, such as relationships or personal growth. The next thing to mention, because this is a mental health podcast, is that psychological disorders can get in the way of gratitude. So, conditions like depression, anxiety, or trauma can make practicing gratitude particularly challenging. For example, people with depression often struggle with pervasive negative thoughts and feelings of worthlessness, which can make it difficult to appreciate the good in their lives. And anxiety, for example, may lead people to worry about the future, limiting their ability to feel gratitude in the present. The next thing to mention is an entitlement mindset. Some individuals may experience an entitlement mindset where they believe they deserve certain things or outcomes. This sense of entitlement can reduce gratitude, as people may not feel the need to appreciate what they already have if they believe that they're entitled to more. The next thing to mention is lack of awareness or practice. Gratitude is like a skill. It needs practice to become a natural part of your thinking process. For those who have not developed the habit of reflecting on positive experiences or expressing thanks, it can be difficult to access feelings of gratitude, especially in the face of routine challenges. Now, I'm going to give you three research backed strategies to improve gratitude, all of which have been shown to enhance mental well being and foster a more grateful mindset. The first thing I want to mention is gratitude journaling. So let's talk about how it works. With gratitude journaling, what you're doing is you're writing down things that you're grateful for on a regular basis, because this has been shown to increase feelings of gratitude and life satisfaction. The practice involves setting aside times each day or week to list things you appreciate in your life, whether they are small daily occurrences or larger events. Studies suggest that people who keep a gratitude journal experience higher levels of positive emotions and reduce symptoms of depression. In one study, participants who wrote about things they were grateful for over a 10-week period reported greater optimism, fewer physical complaints, and more frequent exercise than those who wrote about negative or neutral events. As a practical tip, what I would suggest is to aim to write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for each day. Be specific and try to focus on experiences rather than material possessions. For example, if the weather is nice and the sun is out, you can say, I'm grateful for the sunshine. The second tip is gratitude letters or visits. So let's talk about how that works. This strategy involves writing a letter of thanks to someone who has made a difference in your life and either delivering it in person or sending it to them. Even if you don't send the letter, the act of reflecting on why you're thankful for that person has been shown to increase feelings of gratitude. In a study by psychologist Martin Seligman, participants who wrote and delivered a letter of gratitude to someone they hadn't properly thanked saw a significant and immediate increase in their happiness, with benefits lasting up to a month. Gratitude visits, in particular, can create meaningful connections and strengthen social bonds. So, here's a practical tip with this one. Think of someone who has had a positive impact on your life, but whom you haven't fully thanked. Write them a letter expressing your appreciation, detailing specific actions or moments that made a difference. If possible, deliver it in person for an even more profound emotional experience. I recently had a friend out of nowhere contact me and express gratitude for our relationship, and she let me know how proud of me she was. I can't say enough good things about that interaction, and it gave me the opportunity to reciprocate that care towards her as well. The third strategy that I'm going to mention is mental subtraction of positive events. So let's talk about how this works. This technique involves imagining your life without certain positive aspects, people, or experiences that you currently have. By visualizing what life would be like without them, you can foster a deeper sense of appreciation for their presence. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who practice this mental subtraction experienced increased feelings of gratitude and happiness compared to those who focus on the positive aspects of their lives without considering what life would be like without them. This exercise helps people realize how much they might be taking for granted. In terms of a practical tip for this one, choose a positive event, relationship, or circumstance in your life. Then spend a few minutes imagining how your life would be different if it had never occurred. Reflect on how much this event or person contributes to your well being. So, yeah, I totally want to validate that it's hard to be grateful for a variety of different reasons. And that's no reason not to put effort into developing the skill because it can have so many benefits to your life and potentially enhance the life of someone you care about. Who is someone that you want to do a gratitude letter or visit with? Let me know. You can contact me via Instagram at KindMindPsych or via my email at psychologist@quickanddirtytips.com. The Savvy Psychologist is a quick and dirty tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Steve Rickyberg with script editing by Brandon Getches. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchings. And our marketing and publicity associate is Davina Tomlin. Nathaniel Hoops is our marketing contractor. Follow Savvy Psychologist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's all for this episode of Savvy Psychologist. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.